fake explanations for everything that turns people off from the flat Earth.
Good evening, guys. Yes, this is going to be another quickie video. I have a question. Well, I was watching a video regarding the moon, and this YouTuber did a scientific test. He's a layman, and he did a science to determine the distance that the moon is to planet Earth, and he was able to determine the diameter of the moon, and he came up with something. Okay, he used the law of light, and he used like last year in 2017, I think it was August of 2017, about the solar eclipse, when the moon, the alleged moon, went and covered the sun. And with he showed in series of steps, using the law of light, about how the moon casts a shadow upon the Earth, because it followed a path, and that path was about 70 about 70 miles wide, the shadow it casts upon the Earth. And this YouTuber determined that when something, like you have a light source going and bouncing on an object, a solid object, and then that solid object will cast a shadow, right? And he determined that when the type of shadow, when it's like, when a shadow has very sharp edges, it'll maintain that sharp edge if it's like at least the, I think he said half of the diameter of the actual object that's forming the shadow. Anything past that, like when it was I think twice the diameter, then it starts to slightly show what's called it's like a shadow, like a type of shadow. There's a term. I think it's umbrum, something like that. And then when like a lighter shadow is a penumbrum, something like that. So it starts to show like two textured shadows when it goes beyond twice the diameter, and forget about when it's 4 times the distance of the diameter of the shadow is casting. Then it has to be a certain distance. So I thought about it. I was amazed. It's a fantastic video. But I started asking the question, well, he determined through this science of using light and the constant of like NASA, that they said, okay, the sun's supposed to be X distance from planet Earth, using their mathematics, and he determined through the law of light that the diameter of the sun is only 70 miles. And so it's also suggesting that the distance, I made a mistake. I said sun, I meant to say moon. But it's suggesting that then the moon is actually closer to planet Earth than they claim. And then I said to myself, maybe even, how could you have the sun and the moon and it look like the same sun, because the moon is able to block the sun? I'm suggesting, I posed the question to that YouTuber. I said, maybe even the sun and the moon are the same size.
historical
He said, yeah,
that
he said that's what he believes.
unable to talk about. Why?
If all that, if this moon and sun are really have a different reality as we know it, meaning its relationship to planet Earth, about the distance and everything, and maybe even the shape of the moon. Some people are able to see through the moon, and I had seen something on the other side of the moon. It was like a cloud, but it was on the part with the crescent part, the dark part, and I could see something behind it.
The Holocaust is not allowed to be talked
and
about
other people too.
It's illegal, and that's why they don't want
So,
you talking about those 109 countries.
Maybe when those things happen, maybe what we're looking at when we look at the so-called moon at night, that maybe it is a projection that's being cast and not the actual moon. That they can they could do that. And maybe other times it's the actual moon. But you know what I also wanted to share was this, that you know how they were able to predict, like you have the astronomers, they're able to predict when another eclipse is going to be, and it's all, you know, by looking at the patterns, the cycles, you're able to repeat the cycle again and able to ascertain with those patterns when the next eclipse is going to be. I said, wow, so how, if it's all that, then it's something is programming it to do just that. It's just not by nature. No, something is directing it. And then I said, you know, I think that the moon and the sun, oh, let me get my thought now. I think that the moon is something that's alive, that something is directing its path, and I think the sun is a battery, and this so-called moon is presenting itself in front of this sun to recharge its battery, and is charging the side of the moon that we never see. I think that moon is a flat disk, and that moon is able to do its job, its real function of controlling planet Earth. This is just food for thought, and I hope it makes sense. And it's just food for thought. Start observing the moon and start asking yourself questions about it, okay? So take care, enjoy your evening. Bye-bye.